Hello traders, welcome again to another Bitcoin technical analysis video where we will be going over the charts as usual, covering a couple of the trades that we had yesterday, covering a couple of the trades that we've had today, and going over my thoughts for the near future. So as always, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you are not already aware of our community, then go and check out tauruscrypto.com, where you can find out more information about ourselves. A reminder that our crew membership, we are now offering a lifetime option, or you can try the crew for just $99 for a month membership, and yeah, see how you like it. We've got a lot of good things over there: live trading rooms, educational content, playbook strategies, which we're going to cover in this video right now, loads of updates, and much more. So anyway, let's first of all go over couple of the trades that we had yesterday. Okay, first of all, just from an educational perspective, all right? So the first one, we actually traded this one during our New York trading room. I didn't hold this to the extent of this move. I closed it pretty early, but this was the idea that we were looking for, was we wanted to see what we so often see. Okay, we see this impulse, we see price starting to range, you then get that sweep of either the highs or the lows, depending on the trend that you're going in, and then you get that continuation afterwards. Okay, and this is what we were looking for. Ideally, we were looking towards that VWAP, but if you remember my video yesterday, we actually just missed, got front run on a trade where we were looking for the weekly open for a short position, a very similar setup. Okay, you drop, you range, you sweep the highs, and then you get that continuation. I missed that trade because I was waiting for a perfect entry. So on this occasion, I was more aggressive, managed to get into that trade. Closed it a little bit soon, but still, as we can see, the idea playing out eventually was we were looking for the gap fill and for that daily NPOC at 26,700 to be hit. Now, this was, really quite interesting. What we're doing at the moment with price action is, because we're quite low on volume, and the liquidity again isn't so much there, we do seem to be getting these like one opportunity to get in kind of situations, and then the trade just runs away from you sometimes. So you've got to be quite quick, got to be quite aggressive on your trades, and just have confidence in taking them at the moment. What we had yesterday evening though, so this was a nice opportunity, like I say, closing out of that trade quite early, and was a good job too, because you would have got stopped out before it actually hit target if you were kind of just holding this with a hard stop loss or something. We didn't really have this as a hard stop. It was just around about that VWAP was where we wanted to enter. Going on into the following day, and I'm just going to go and cover this move up at the highs here, because this was a really interesting one. What we had was a sweep of the high of that. What session was it? Let's have a look. It was just before New York, this one. Was it just before or was it during? It was during New York. So you had that sweep of the New York highs into your single prints here. So you can see, as we got that move up yesterday into this area of single prints outside of value area, just before we had the daily close. And then what we so often get, okay, this setting you up for not just one, but two of our playbook strategy setups straight away on the Asia session. So the Asia session's been really good recently. I do wish that I was still in America so I could trade it a bit more. But basically, first of all, okay, you have the poor value area setup, which is, if we just draw on our volume, there we go. Okay, so you can see the previous day value area. You got that close just inside there, but you didn't have a very good profile for the day. It was just this very kind of poor highs, poor lows. On the day, you sweep that, you take the liquidity above the highs, very similar to what we'd done the day before. You then lose your daily open, marked here as monthly open, and then you come back in to your VWAP and monthly open area. So this sets you up not only for the poor value area setup, but also for that VWAP open drive where you get that sweep of liquidity, you switch direction, actually coming into that previous day point of control there before getting a little bit of a bounce. Again, you kind of go range, take highs, continuation. Okay, into that VWAP, close enough, like I say, not quite reaching those perfect entries at the moment on a lot of these trades, but still a decent area to be looking to get in on a trade nonetheless. And then you find that continuation lower until you basically reclaim VWAP, which we are almost, you would say, in the process of doing now. So a couple of nice setups from the morning here already. Overnight, I got filled. Okay, so I was in a short position. I was able to take profit on that short position and got filled in a long. I was kind of confident on this one. There was a lot of confluence there. We covered all of that confluence yesterday, and I did get filled into that long position. Now, I haven't taken profit. I haven't done anything on this just yet, although as we can see on this chart, we are currently just trying to break back in once again to the previous day value area. So if we can hold this, remember we've got VWAP now offering us some support. So if we can break into this, I think, and move back up to that previous day point of control again, that was a nice little area from yesterday. Could be a good target for this for a short position. And then ultimately you've got your monthly open, which is lining up at the previous day value area high. So we might end up with one of those situations where we just have a fairly range bound trading day today, where we see this continue to float up. You start to put in a range around here, and then we can look for short positions, maybe coming back into what at this stage could potentially be another point of control, which would line up quite nicely if we are to get a move up there with that golden pocket. Okay, so we've got some confluence there. I think that is ultimately what I am looking for. If we do start to pull back, let me just clean this up slightly. We can remove those fibs, and we can remove this, and then we can just look at general market structure. Let's also remove this. So that's one of the trades at the moment. But yeah, we can look at general market structure. If we look at where this gap in this MPOC is, if we are to start pulling back and we pull our fibs from here, this gives you a really good area, okay? You've got some liquidity below these lows. So you'd say around about, actually, let's go for this one. So this is where you had the reaction. You put in an initial low, we're holding. So at this stage, you would probably like to say, we can do a little curvy line here to make it nicer. That's not very, what is that? What is that? We don't want that. Oh my God, I've just ruined everything. Here you go. You get the idea, right? You have these lows here, which we can come down and sweep into a little bit of support, back into that MPOC area, back into that gap area, before maybe getting another bounce higher to reach target. So we do have a setup here where you could be going for, if you do believe that that's a good low, which I think it quite possibly is a pretty good low, then we can be targeting that monthly open, that previous day value area high, that previous day VWAP close, the highs from over here as a trade from this. So this one to me is looking kind of nice. But if we look at the volume, yeah, it's decent volume. I reckon we could go for this, but it depends if we are going to get a pullback now. I do think that we may see a situation where this continues to float up higher, but then it would still be that same area that realistically you are looking for. As for any other trades that we have right here, would I consider taking a short right now? I don't think I would. We do have that resistance at previous day value area low. Okay, so if we do look at the TPO here, it is there. Is that enough for me to take a trade? Not so sure. If we look at our anchored VWAP maybe from this high, we're just doing a few things on the fly from the high. Then we've got some ways to go until we come to that anchored VWAP. If we're looking at from the breakdown yesterday, again, I think we've still got a little bit higher that we could push to come into those single prints and this VWAP here, getting back into a little bit of value here. So I'd hold off on any short positions at the moment. If we do start to break local market structure, then I think that could be an opportunity to get into something. But it's very, very tight here. It would have to be a situation where this is just running above VWAP, inducing some long positions. We then lose that, probably getting a bounce from around here, come back in, and then you can target a short from what, 26,880, around about there, like if we are to roll over. And then you're looking for this down here, because then you're breaking this. Okay, you can see that low, taking the highs. If we are to lose this VWAP, find a little bit of support down here, get a little tick back into it, then that 26,880 could be a decent opportunity for a short there. Just going over onto the order flow here, onto the footprint chart, just to see if we've got anything else. Yeah, realistically, if we are going to lose VWAP, okay, you would expect to see a bounce around about here. So 26,820 would be where you would hope to find support. If you don't get a bounce from that, then the trade's gone. You're probably going to go and take the lows. Okay, so at this stage, if we do lose this, we're probably taking the lows. But yeah, 26,820, 26,840, get a tick back up into the VWAP and then take a short down towards here. So we shall see. We shall see how that gets along. Anything else to cover? Again, like I say, I'm not going to go over the higher time frames. You can look at the video that I made yesterday that goes over the support that I have at 25,300, which is down here, the resistance at 28,900, which is up here, and then the higher time frame targets that we do ultimately have as well. But yeah, I've still talked for 10 minutes on this video, so I am going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again very soon. There'll be a live stream later on. So thank you. Bye.